A tale of two halves because of the weather in every conceivable way. It was Drake Maye's Patriots taking on Jarrett Stidham and the Denver Broncos. And early on, Dan, the very first opportunity they get, or the second drive, I should say, Jarrett Stidham leads them right down the field, one big passing play, and then this touchdown to Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, nice job of getting him on the move. Sutton wide open. This was the ideal start for the Denver Broncos.
Then flip sides, second quarter, critical decision from Sean Payton. 4th and 1 from the 14 with a 7-0 lead and your defense playing great. He doesn't take the points. They go for the first down. What do we think of the call and the decision?
I think the decision is the wrong one. Take a 10-0 lead. The call, I'm fine with the play call in that situation, but I still believe kicking the field goal would have been the right choice.
And then the other thing that you can't do, Jarrett Stidham, Rex, makes the one critical mistake.
Yeah, you think right there, this is the one that cost them the game right here. And again, this is what you expect. I mean, you got these guys are backups for a reason. All right, he'll be a backup the rest of his career.
He tries to flip the ball away. It is a backwards pass. It should have been a touchdown for the Patriots. Instead, they rule it on the spot that he picks it up, but it's no problem because Drake Maye takes it right in. So we're tied up at 7 at the half. Now we go to the third quarter. Patriots on a 4th and 1. Drake Maye, he's going to sneak and he's going to get it, and they're going to look at it. And Sean Payton, D. Wood, would challenge this, even though he has no chance of this being overturned.
Yeah, listen, from that view, obviously that's why he challenged it, but when it's that close, maybe you want to say your time out there.
Yeah, the idea that anyone was going to look at that and decide is clear and decisive. So Andy Borregales winds up kicking a 23-yard field goal. You can see the snow has begun to fall. Those 3 points are obviously critical. Fourth quarter, it's now a snow globe with wind. The employees are trying to clear the field off. 46-yard field goal attempt from Will Lutz here. Dan, at first it looks like a terrible kick, but a second look at it, you realize this ball is blocked by Leonard Taylor.
Yeah, it's a great job, Ross. You can see one D tackle getting low, one getting high. Taylor gets his hand up. Outstanding by New England special teams.
And so Denver would have one final chance. Jarrett Stidham, they had no offense in the second half at all. Conditions were obviously a huge factor. Christian Gonzalez with the interception. Patriots just need one first down to put it away. And what do? They keep it in the hands of their quarterback.
Yeah, this is an outstanding play call by Josh McDaniels and Drake Maye. Just the ability to get on the edge, get the first down. Great play call, great execution.
Strange second half in which the weather was such a factor, but in the end, the celebration. Stephon Diggs is going to the Super Bowl. Mike Vrabel's going back to the Super Bowl. In his second year, Drake Maye is going to the Super Bowl.
Celebrate tonight, and then tomorrow it's how are we going to win the next game.
The next game is the Super Bowl. Vrabel helping orchestrate one of the great turnarounds of all time. The Patriots are the 6th team to make the Super Bowl after having 5 or fewer wins the previous season. The last team to win the Super Bowl in that scenario was the Patriots in 2001 in what was Tom Brady's second year. As for the Broncos, lots of questions, particularly about going for it on that 4th down in the second quarter. Here's Sean Payton.
There's always regrets, you know. I felt like, here we are, 4th and 1. We felt close enough that, and it's also a call you make based on the team you're playing and how what you're watching on the other side of the ball. So yeah, there'll always be second thoughts.
When we see the way the weather turns in the second half, where offense was practically impossible, passing up on the field goal, I think then in hindsight looks worse. How aware are the coaches of what the weather is going to be as the game goes on?
Oh, you're definitely aware of it. There's no question about it. Now, are you aware of the fact that it's going to be like it was? Like that bad? I don't think so. Because, hey, we got really bad weather coming in at this time.
Right.
You know it's coming. But do you really know it's coming in like that? And look, on this call here, I hated the call right here because you got to assume you're going to get pressured here. They're turning guys loose. You got a backup quarterback that was absolutely horrendous in this game. So I never liked the call itself. But to Sean Payton's credit, right? Like he's sitting back and he's got all these little nerd dudes, analytic nerds that how I feel about them.
Yes.
They're the ones piping in. Let's go for it. Analytics says let's go for it. It's 52%. Oh, I don't care what it says. Coaching is an art. It's not a science. And you got to understand, points are going to be at a premium here. And so to me, and of course, I get it. I can sit back and say, oh, yeah, kick it because he missed it. But you got a backup quarterback. I certainly wouldn't have put it in his hands.
Gee, Wood, how about it? How about the kicking the field goal there? It's been sort of a theme in this postseason, teams leaving points on the field in those situations, and it winds up costing them.
Yeah, I tweeted right before the play. I'm like, take the points. You're playing with a backup quarterback. Oh, by the way, the Patriots defense is one of the best defenses in the league. So instead of being up 10-0, now you're stopped on 4th down. Then you turn the ball over. The Patriots go and score, and the game is totally flipped on its head, 7-7. I feel like in the postseason, not only in the postseason, but this whole season, the pendulum has swung too far with coaches being ultra aggressive on 4th down. It's almost like these coaches are allergic to points. Like in this situation right here, that was a chip shot field goal. You take the points in that situation because points are at a premium, and it cost, and it came back to bite Sean Payton in the butt right there.
Now, listen, if they go up 14-0, everybody's saluting him for being a genius, but they didn't. And there has been a shift. It has not just been in this postseason. It's been the last few seasons where somehow coaches have felt emboldened to bypass these field goals. It feels like 4th and anything, they're going for it more often than they're taking field goals.
The reason is the way analytics work is if you play that game 10,000 times, in the long run, you will wind up benefiting from having gone for it more than you will kicking the field goal. But to your point, you're not playing the game 10,000 times. You're playing that game, that day, that moment, in those conditions, with that backup quarterback. And so that's where the art comes in beyond the science. Haven't gotten Dan in here. Big picture thoughts.
You kick the field goal. 100% you kick the field goal. And the difference between going for it on 4th down and goal like the Rams did and going for it on 4th down like Denver did was you're not guaranteed if you convert 7 points.
Right.
You're just guaranteed another set of downs. And so in that moment, and I know Sean Payton was talking about momentum, but momentum is up 10-0 against, and you have a top 3 defense as well.
Yeah.
And so
At home.
Yeah, I just think that Sean's going to look back and understanding you called timeout. So now you've given New England the opportunity to have clear communication. What do they like to go to? What's going to be our call? Be ready for something like this. And I think that moment when you call the timeout, you're actually now giving an advantage to the defense to have more conversation and to alert all your players of what your likely tendencies are.
Absolutely right, Dano. 100% agree with you on that. But the biggest thing is this. If I have Matt Stafford at quarterback, I'm going for it.
I agree.
If I got a backup quarterback,
that's why I agree.
There's no way in hell. Like, that's where analytics doesn't say that. Oh, Matt Stafford. Okay, we're going to go for it.
I think the Rams made the right decision to go for it. I think the Broncos
too.
made the wrong decision to not kick it.
And so at the end of the day, if you're the Broncos, and this is why I said this is the one you're never going to get over, you give up the 3 points, or you pass up the 3 points in the first half, you hand New England their only touchdown of the game, and you wind up losing 10-7.
Yeah, and you missed 2 field goals.
That's a very tough one to swallow. Final word from Shefty.
Listen, that's something that's going to stay with them for a long time. It's hard to get to that spot. They were the #1 seed. Also think it's the kind of thing late in the 4th quarter, Bo Nix was not there to pull out his magic.
Yes, they would have been smoked by the Seattle Seahawks.
We'll see. We're going to find out now.
But, that was part of the reason I believe they moved on from Sean McDermott, because not only did they fail to reach the conference championship game in the Super Bowl, but they're watching their division rival that had been a doormat in recent years come in, win the division, get to the conference championship game, now get to a Super Bowl. So how is it that Drake Maye has gotten to a Super Bowl before Josh Allen? How can that be?
Because they gave up 15 points a game in the playoffs.
Okay, but it happened.
And a lot of things come into it, and this is not meant as necessarily a knock at Sean McDermott, because there's a million reasons why they lost a million games, and not all of them are coaching. But the other team I'm thinking of today, we talk about Minnesota and how they feel now letting go of Sam Darnold. I'm certainly glad Tennessee fired Mike Vrabel, right?
Yeah.
You sit and think about decisions that get made.
Look?
How does that look? And now, in hindsight, how about the job that Mike Vrabel has done getting this team back to the
amazing.
Super Bowl?
Like, this is about as good a coaching job as I've ever seen. And this team's won 17 games. Mm-hmm. We realize that?
9-0 on the road.
9-0 on the road, 17 games from a team that won 4 the year before. And here's why, when I say the greatest coaching job I've ever seen. Because you know how many players improved? Every single one of them. It's not just about the people you bring in. All right? It wasn't, in which they made some great moves of bringing in players. They're not the difference. It was the guys on their team that improved are the difference, and that's coaching.
You said they won 4 games last year. They won 4 games the last 2 years. And if they win the Super Bowl, they'll win as many games this postseason as they won in each of the last 2 years.
How many games have Tennessee won since they fired Vrabel?
Far fewer.